Real quick, don't mind the Coors Light shirt. I actually don't drink. I went to an open mic night at a bar tonight, and they were giving away free stuff, and I was like, I love free stuff. Anyway, you all saw the title, so you know what we're doing. This is a spoiler review of Spider-Man: No Way Home. Saw it today at Cinemark, and man, oh man, we got a lot to impact. So I will throw out the last warning. If you do not want this movie to be spoiled, if you don't want spoilers, click away right now. You good? All right, let's dive in. So, um, I adore the Sam Raimi trilogy, even Spider-Man 3. That was actually my favorite of the three for the longest time. But I understand why people don't like it. But I have a great deal of emotional attachment to that. The first Spider-Man actually came out on my fifth birthday, May 3rd, 2002, and so obviously seeing the return of Tobey Maguire was a big deal for someone like me. Andrew Garfield, yes, but to a lesser extent, of course. I mean, we have to admit that Tobey has a bit of an advantage by being the first. But so and I'm completely improvising. As I said, I didn't write a script or anything. I just got home actually. So aside from the obvious fan service that we get from seeing these three characters together, a few things stick out, and I want to make this brief. So I'm gonna oscillate back and forth from the end of the movie, beginning, in between. I'm not going in order. I'm doing this completely on the fly. So one thing that stuck out to me was I think it was important for Tom Holland's Peter to fight Osborn on his own at the end, because over the course of the movie, Osborn really becomes Holland's nemesis more so than Maguire's. And of course, they're all named Peter, so I have to go by the actor's name. Um, but it was also important and symbolic for Toby's Peter to be the one to stop Tom Holland from killing Osborn. So if you go back to Spider-Man 3, when Peter thought he killed Flint Marko in the sewer, and then he told Aunt May that Flint Marko was dead, Spider-Man killed him. Aunt May said, "Well, Spider-Man doesn't kill people." And when Peter was like surprised that she wasn't like happy and satisfied because he deserved it, he killed Uncle Ben. Aunt May said, Uncle Ben wouldn't want us to live 1 second with fear in our, or with revenge in our hearts and hate, and revenge is like a poison. I think this kind of mirrored that, like Tobey Maguire's Peter sort of passing that down to Tom Holland's Peter. Um, because if you think about it, even though this movie is where Tom Holland's Peter becomes a man, this poor kid is put through the fucking ringer in this movie. And even though he becomes a man, he's still extremely young. And so for Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, who is obviously much older, I think it's important to save and preserve that little shred of innocence that Tom Holland's Peter Parker still has left. Because imagine if he lets him go through with killing Osborn, well, then he has to go the rest of his life, not just with hate in his heart, but with blood on his hands. And so I think it's sort of Tobey Maguire's character's like way of saying, I've been there and you don't want that on your soul. So that stuck out to me. Another thing that stuck out at the end of the movie, when Tom Holland's Peter moves into the penthouse by himself after everyone has forgotten who he is. And did you guys notice that on the dresser where he puts the cup of coffee that MJ gives him, there's like little pieces of like a Spider-Man costume. So I'm guessing he himself creates this new comic book accurate black and white costume that we see at the end of the movie. But if you notice on the dresser next to the coffee cup from MJ, there's like little pieces of Spider-Man costume. Like, are those like little shreds and remnants of Toby and Andrew's costumes? Like, it's just a theory, but let me know what you guys think, because that would be awesome to have like a piece of those two forever. Even if they're from different universes and they don't remember him, he remembers them. It's a nice keepsake for that incredible adventure they had together that he can always take with him, and the important lessons that he can take with him. Even though, of course, they had to go back to their own universes and everyone forgot who he was. But yeah, those were just some things that stuck out to me. This is definitely the best Spider-Man movie of all time. It's a masterclass in fan service. I'm something of a scientist myself. Um, there's just not much I can say. I'm not a film critic, not by trade, so I can't give you song and verse on how technically proficient it was. I will say, however, that prior to seeing the movie, I saw an interview with Tom Holland where he spoke about how when Alfred Molina, who plays Doc Ock, when he originally played Doc Ock for Spider-Man 2, which came out back in 2004, the mechanical arms, the tentacles, had to be puppeteered by like 4 different people. So that limited Molina's movement a little bit. But now, of course, with the technological advancements and CGI and stuff like that, there's no need for puppeteers. So now Molina has even more freedom as an actor. So, of course, I mean, it's a given the time gap in the advancement technology, but this film is as much a technical achievement as it is a thematic achievement. So, and of course, the film's better for that. But I don't know, man. This was just a fucking soul-crushing movie. Can't wait to see it again. Can't wait to see what Tom Holland's Peter Parker, like what they have in store for him in the future in the MCU. Um, just it's an obvious 5 out of 5 or an A+, whatever grade you want to give it. It's perfect. If you get, let me know what you would think about Spider-Man: No Way Home in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this review, please hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to get notified next time I drop a video. And yeah, we'll see you soon.